Good morning. Headed down to Mingo Craft Distillers in Pennsylvania. Just wanted to say good morning to everybody. Scotchy Bourbon Boys are on the road.
Hey there, Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tiny here to talk about the Spirit of French Lick and William Dalton Bottled and Bond Wheated Bourbon. Named after the longest serving master distiller in Indiana history, we pay tribute to his contributions with this traditional wheated mash bill of 70% corn, 20% wheat, and 10% two-row caramel malt. Always 100% double pot distilled, aged exclusively in our chai cellar using 53-gallon number 2 char barrels and 105 entry proof. The appearance is burnt amber and rosewood with the aromas of eucalyptus, honeysuckle, caramel, and jasmine flower, with a light sweet lifting caramel highlighted by a light earthiness resolving to clover honey and a light oak tannin with a horehound candy finish, blackberry, dark fruit character, and nutmeg. We like to present William Dalton. Never drink and drive, and always drink responsibly.
All the rules just, I don't think it, as far as what we're searching for is taste, right?
Yeah.
What is the taste?
And we're just huge pot still proponents.
Yeah.
We just,
Massive.
We
Well,
just think that it
that's why you're
produces-
friends with Alan. Yes. Alan loves pot still too. There's no
We'll pass out glasses.
Drinking bourbon, sipping on some scotch. We get a little wild, but it's sure fun to watch. We love what we do, we're drinking every brew. Man, we talk some shit, but we're telling the truth. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, raising some hell and making some noise. Yeah, we're the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. We're here to have fun and we hope you enjoy. We're here to have fun, yeah.
That's super.
Pretty cool. So we do the when we do the tours, we do them. This is where the tasting ends. So we have a pinnacle. We have a tour.
Yeah, I like that you taste in here. That's
Yeah, if you want to just
that's very cool.
and then we'll walk over.
Now, I even like how, wow, I like the logo up at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Pretty cool. And so it's
Happy hour.
Oh yeah. Yep. And it's it's a really cool cocktail program that we have. A lot of people enjoy the drinks, and so we really wanted to have this observation deck. So people come up, have drinks up there. You're in the distillery, you can smell, what we're cooking that week, and it's just a cool place to have a cocktail.
Yeah.
So I know we set this up we set it up to have a pretty smooth flow. We've been pretty pleased with it. So our mill rooms over there, we have a couple grain bins out front, corn and rye, and then our bulk bags for our malted barleys and wheats and whatnot. So mill room into a grist hopper, and it just makes a full circle around. So into the brew deck. Right now we have 4,000 gallon fermenters, and then you can see the indents. We're sized. All the utilities are sized to double, get 4 more fermenters, 4,000 gallon fermenters. Okay. So hopefully we'll do that over the next couple of years.
So how's your distribution? I mean, is it just here?
Yeah, this Western Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a whiskey-only distillery, so we're trying to get older products, and the only way to do that is to, kind of hold it close so that we
Until you get to where you,
So we're not bottling as much as we're producing. So we're trying to keep that in balance.
So how
producing a lot
long have you been doing it?
We're 8 years old. 8 years old.
It's just looking weird. So like, and we're probably bottling about half of the rate that we were producing at 3 years ago. So we're bottling pretty much, we're selecting barrels that are all at least 3 years old, and it's at a rate that's like half of what we were producing. So that's that's one of those that just we keep it pretty tight, pretty close to the area, and keep trying to make good whiskey.
So you're bottling half of what it goes, and then the other half just keeps aging.
Yeah, so we can be selective. We're picking barrels that we think taste awesome. We're not bottling anything before we think it's ready, and I think it's a good formula. And then that number with this new growth, I think we're producing like 5x of what we're bottling, 5 to 6. Actually, it's more than that. It's like 12%. We're bottling like 12% of what proof gallons we're putting into barrels right now. So. Yeah, we're either idiots or.
She said that sounds dumb. No, it doesn't. No,
genius,
you're not,
isn't it?
no, I do
That's a
not.
horrible business model.
So actually, he was talking about the peated. It was the peated with it malt,
peated
single
bourbon.
malt, or is it?
Yeah, we get peated malts. It's
Okay.
the whiskey's not a single malt. It's a bourbon.
Okay, so you're doing a peated bourbon.
Peated bourbon.
Okay, where do you get your peat?
We get the peated malt from Scotland.
Okay, so you're actually using.
Yeah, so from Baird's Malt there in Inverness,
I was
Scotland.
in Thornton, which is in Illinois, but it's on the Illinois-Indiana border.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear of them?
No.
They're in an old brewery that Al Capone, but it's got an artesian limestone well right down in the. You go down there and it's like they have concerts in the actual where the well is because it's all limestone underground. But they're also on that quarry, the quarry outside of Chicago to Indiana, the largest limestone. Well, they're right on the edge of it, right? But he went to Scotland to learn how to distill, and Ari did, and when he came back, they were doing bourbon, but he's been doing some single malts, but he used Illinois peat.
Yeah, okay.
Which was like, did you know that there was a peat bog in Illinois that you could cut out and put...
Alan's done some stuff with Indiana peat he's talked about.
So it's like, and then that kind of, it just depends on what everybody loves.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've had a peated bourbon.
Yeah, there you go. Well, you're about to.
That's right. This is peat. We're in our peat phase right now too. So we have a couple peated bourbons in the fermenters. We're smelling kind of smoky right now.
Oh, it smells damn good in here.
It does.
Yes.
No, the other aspect of it is this is the new construction.
Right.
I don't get it. I mean, when you go into a lot of new construction of the bigger places, it does. But this has the nice feel of, and then you guys designed it. You could tell the design is for the workflow.
Yeah.
I've been to French Lick, but that was in an old piano.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I've noticed the same kind of. It's got the same feel, but it's brand new and there's no dirt.
And the beautiful thing about having been doing this for 7 years before we designed this is we knew how we wanted it to flow.
You were like, oh God, I wish this was here.
That's
God, I wish this was like this. And then when you design it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's.
Not knowing to blame but ourselves. We don't like it. We don't like
Oh, I'm sure there'll be something, right?
Why do we do this? But
Well, let's head to the barrel house.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I will. There's more wood on it.
You know how it affects the whiskey is it takes longer to dump that barrel, whatever.
This time at home close.
I will.
Drop this baby
Yeah.
in.
That was already off.
I gotta let it
he's
sit.
got his own
You'll
whiskey.
see many official Vendome thieves.
Yeah, that looks like ours.
All right, who's gonna put it up there first?
Kev.
All right.
All right. Hey, Rach, hold that.
I got it.
Nice. You've done this before.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna take it all and you
Oh yeah,
pour.
perfect. That's a good idea.
That's
You've done that before.
What is happening? That's one of the best ones I've done yet.
Let's go. There we go. That's perfect.
Oh, is that
Thank you very much.
Well done.
A Vendome.
Well done. So this is.
Kev's like, I topped this barrel off this morning.
Do I fit?
I can go in there and thief it if you don't fit.
Don't worry, only 4 more guys.
I'm just as good at that one as I was that one. Here we go.
Let's see how much is in this guy. Nice.
Hopefully about the same.
Yeah, so far so good.
What is you guys? This
Yeah.
is awesome.
Okay.
No front pocket. Which one? Less to go.
Oh, your
after?
glass?
You're right in the middle, Tiny. There's no easy way. You gotta get through 3.
It's just, I know I fit through that. Those, I know if I'm, all it takes is a little shift and I'm stuck here forever.
Oh, so terrible.
Not a bad place to be stuck.
Yeah, we'll come and we'll throw you a blanket. We'll throw a blanket on you.
Oh God.
Suck it in.
And on all the tours.
That's a meat. You know you're gonna have to make a reel out of that.
You got it,
Squeeze in through the crack.
So let's talk about what I'm blown away a little bit at. Okay, so you got the high rye there, the stuff that you're just getting ready to bottle. So you want us to sample that.
Absolutely.
But you got the 2 wheated I just tasted. So you've been doing wheated for a while, and then we got the barrel thieved peated bourbon. I've barrel thieved peated single malt, American single malt from whatever, but I never got to taste that peated bourbon. And what I was really blown away at is I didn't get that earthy peat taste. I got a char smoke taste, which takes like that bourbon and just like you smoked the bourbon, not peated it and made it earthy, and as I said before, it tastes like shit. But so talk about how many different things you got going, and then with the new Rick House and what you got, how you're organizing those things and what you do on a weekly basis.
We have, I guess, right, guys. We have 4 major SKUs.
I call it 3.
3. Corn is so we do a wheated bourbon, a straight rye, and a peated bourbon. Those are our 3, and we, over the course of the year, we dedicate about 25-30% of the year to each of those 3 main SKUs. That gives us a little bit of time to experiment, and our ethos is to experiment and play, but only in the whiskey space. So you mentioned the high rye bourbon, so we have a great, I think, backstory on that. You want to try that one?
Yeah.
So as a proud Pennsylvania whiskey distillery, right? Rye is our heritage. It's Pennsylvania's whiskey. So we looked at how a lot of Kentucky distilleries produced rye, and it was a barely legal rye. It was 51% rye. So that offended us.
Yeah.
Age on this? That is
January 2020.
almost 4 years. So that's 4 summers. It's almost 4 years old. But we decided to turn the tables on the Kentucky rye and make a Pennsylvania bourbon. So this is 51% Bloody Butcher corn. So it's the bare minimum to be a bourbon with 40% rye. So it's a very high rye bourbon. We like to think it's a Pennsylvania bourbon because of that high rye content.
And then talk about your barrel entry. So what do you pull it off what do you pull your hearts off the still? I learned this just this week. We were talking about because I put out the rules of bourbon.
Yeah.
And what do you pull your hearts off at, and what do you put this in the barrel at? What's your barrel entry?
Yeah.
Yeah, our hearts are normally, so the aggregate proof. So I always tell people, if you start tasting off the still with us throughout the day, it tastes different every single minute as you go along. I'm a big proponent. I believe that the aggregate at the end of the day is 10 times better than any individual portion of that run. We'll start collecting. I don't even really know that well off the top of my head. I'll say 150. We start collecting around 150, and
10% under what you can.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then we'll run it down to a little bit under 90. But for us, we really track that aggregate proof once the still run is done. And these days, we're right around 131 proof, 130 and a half, 131.
Okay. So technically, what you got to get to the one now.
Yes.
Now, normally a lot of people put it in at 125. that's where
Yes.
the highest that yields the most. But
Yeah.
you guys are going in at
We go into 108. Yep, and that's kind of been the sweet spot for us over the last couple of years. We've ranged from, we were at 115 for a while. We've put in a couple at 103, 104. 108 is kind of where we've settled in at, where we seem to get to. We're big fans of that like leather, soft oak flavor. And right around that, the 108 number is kind of where it's derived, at least for us, the best. So.
That's the high rye.
So this is a single barrel. We're naming this one Barrel Candy because we get a whole lot of sweet tarts, a whole lot of Sour Patch Kids.
It tastes like candy.
Yeah. This. Yep.
That's right up there from what I was tasting off that 95.5. I get the sweet tarts on the finish. You like the finish. So I pull a ton. Fuck. That's delicious.
Thank you.
That's exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm pulling front palate.
This is an interesting one.
Front palate is caramel.
Yeah.
It goes mid palate chocolate. But then instead of hot pepper, it goes, like you said, sweet tart, like a tartness, and then what's really freaking cool, what's the proof?
This is 113, I believe, in that ballpark.
So if anybody wants it, so it goes in at 108, it comes out at 113.
Yeah, we raised.
So just think about that. We're in Pennsylvania, and everybody talks about Kentucky, and they talk about, and we're a little bit further north happening, but you still added that 108 to 113. And now honestly, where were you aging? What part of the rick house?
So this guy was aged before we had a rick house. So the majority of this was aged at our old distillery.
Just right in the distillery control.
Yeah, and then we had an on-site storage and an off-site storage, and the majority of these saw back corner of on-site storage. So
yeah,
okay, yeah, closer to what I believe would be equivalent to like a first or second story.
So you really were aging with the humidity and not so much temperature change because it's on site, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I get when it's cold, but
Yeah.
it still was on site, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like having it in a rick house where it gets freezing.
Well,
and
so
hot.
so based on both of our old storage sites, our basement saw way bigger temperature fluctuations than our off-site did. Off-site was a bigger building that always kind of sat just about the same. Where whenever we were working downstairs, we had a chiller that was on, putting heat out. We had a garage door that was open, letting cold in. So just based on the natural workflow.
The normal.
Based on the natural workflow, we would cool that basement down big time, and then turn the chiller on and heat it up big time. And the fact that basement cycled so much was kind of the driving force behind putting up this rick house and letting it cycle. Was we wanted to recreate that, but just with the ability to store way more than what we could in that previous basement.
Well,
yeah, you get a lot.
So I'm looking forward to like now that we met you, and it's just this. Whatever, but 5 years from now, it's like come here and see what because that's the one thing. I've met a lot of distillers, and I've met a lot of people who have been in the industry forever. And Greg Schneider of Chicken Cock Whiskey, as a master distiller of that, he's just got a history of everything. He gets into like the intricacies of distilling and what comes off and everything. And you guys are doing something similar to that. I would love for him to be able to taste what you're doing. Yeah. But
what I'm doing,
yeah,
of course,
now she's.
You can
she's
see I'm toasting
she's
it.
prepping.
No, she's toasting it right.
Yeah, you know what
There
we're
we
doing.
go.
Now, get it started, and then you just suck in. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Look at you knowing exactly how close to get to the flame. Yep. Is it good enough?
Looks good.
Yeah.
I inhale.
Don't do that.
It's
Don't do
rare
that.
to do that.
Isn't this pleasantly mild but yet pleasantly flavorful? And then you try it with this single barrel.
So, what I love about a cigar is not the cigar. I love how it sweetens up the whiskey.
Oh,
Cigars to me are, I'm saying I would never smoke a cigar without a whiskey or without other people. But the social aspect of cigars.
You're absolutely right.
I smoked a cigar once.
what does that
And
mean?
it was like,
Didn't go well.
no, it went well. I gave it to her, and I put up a reel of it,
Yeah.
and it went crazy. And she told me after it went fucking viral, she's like, I will never smoke a cigar again. The whole world knows that Roxy smokes cigars,
Yes.
but yet she doesn't since then.
Maybe
Well,
someday. It
for
has to
me,
be. It has to
is,
be a special occasion.
So the great thing about you, sweet candy. So Stephen Fonte is at Bourbon on the Banks. He shows up and he gives us all cigars, and it's Kobe, K-O-B-E-E, and that's a cigar distribution company. And he gives us like their best cigar, and he brings Yellowstone, and I'm like drinking Yellowstone. So he opens the bottle, and there's me, whiskey, CT, and Super Nash, and him. That's who's all there. And we drank the bottle down to this one. But while you were
But
drinking,
you
this-
never forget that.
but while we're smoking the cigar, the whiskey tastes so sweet.
I think you're 100% right.
She said that a lot, but it's exactly what it is.
Now, do you retrohale?
I just go. Nothing. I don't inhale.
So a lot of the cigar guys have told me, because I smoke it just like you do. A lot of guys have told me that every third, breathe through your nose when you exhale, and they call that the retrohale, and it just literally fills your mouth with the flavor of the cigar. Then take the sweeter because it's sweeter now. Take that whiskey, you'll be shocked. But they said only do it like 3 times on any cigar. Never do it
Because you're bringing more into your
right,
lungs.
and then you're blowing it out through your nose. And then as it gets about, you do the retrohale and then blow out.
This time, I'm sitting on this side. You put
It's
See
the
ya.
chucks.
It's the
Oh
chucks.
my God!
Invasion of the Chucks.
No, seriously, we like the invasion of the chucks.
Let me clean up. I'll be drawing
What did I
pictures.
do?
Couple minutes, I'll be drawing pictures.
What's that? I don't even know what that is. Red and green. It's Christmas time.
How would you like an America?
I would like that since, and thank
I'll
you.
smoke the Brasilia.
Right, thank you, brother, for your service.
What's the big one right in there?
So this is an Asylum 13.
You got to be
This is a
crazy
monster.
to smoke it. It's
It
silent.
This
doesn't
is-
even fit in your mouth.
No, this is a legitimate 2-hour minimum smoking session.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. So I've my father-in-law.
Every time I smoke it, I feel.
I bought him a humidor when I didn't smoke cigars. And he's passed away.
Sorry to
God
hear
bless
that.
his soul.
I don't have one, but
But it was given back to me, the humidor. And it's, what,
Got a
2
straight
years
or
sat
deep?
with nothing? But recently I've gotten into enjoying the aspect of what cigars do to bourbon. What's your pour? You
that's
don't
not
have
mine.
a pour.
that's
No,
what I
we
just said.
finished
I
up.
couldn't even toast you guys.
We finished up, unfortunately.
Once you
I
start
just-
that, you're
I
going to
just-
have a little bit of this.
I
You
just
can
drink
have
too
us.
much. I drink faster than most people. I think maybe that's what I'm at.
I think it's Jim. It's Jim's pour. And what time is it? Yeah, he's helping the staff clean up. We are only open 12 to 4, so pay no attention to that, Tiny. We're here with you as long as you want to be here.
And they said that.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
Hey, Scotchy Bourbon Boys fans, this is Alan Bishop, Indiana's alchemist of the Black Forest. So I'm tuning in here today to tell you all about the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute channel on YouTube. If you're at all interested in the art of distilling, whether it be home distilling or professional distilling, and the intense geekery that goes into that process, then check out the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute on YouTube. I promise you're going to learn something you didn't know before about the arts.